Hi everyone, thanks for checking out my video discussion this week. For this discussion, I chose to examine two primary sources that while being very different from one another, both tie into the topic of Native American studies to some extent. Both of these works also were written during the middle of the 17th century, and both were written in the New World. Another interesting fact is that both sources were originally printed in Cambridge, Massachusetts as well. The first work I want to examine is one written by John Winthrop in 1645 entitled A Declaration of Former Passages and Proceedings Betwixt the English and the Narragansetts. John Winthrop would be a key founder of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, which was the second major English settlement in New England right after Plymouth Colony. The resource discusses relations between the Massachusetts Bay colonists and the Narragansett for the most part, while also referencing the Pequot and the Pequot War. Winthrop writes about how there had been a change in relations between the colonists and the Narragansett for some time, and that these natives were even harboring Pequots after the Pequot defeat to the colonists of New England in the Pequot War. The work also discusses native figures such as Miantanamo, Narragansett sachem during the 17th century. This specific individual's loyalty would be questioned in this work, which I found interesting. The resource does discuss other important interactions, but these were what stood out to me the most about this specific primary source. The second work to be examined is The Conditions for New Planters in the Territories of His Royal Highness the Duke of York by Richard Nicolls from 1665, so a little bit later than the first work. Richard Nicolls was the first colonial governor of the New York colony, and in this work really breaks down the process of purchasing land in early colonial New England. The work details how land is not to be bought from other colonists, but from native sachems or leaders. Colonists must purchase land in front of a governor, though, and with the permission of that governor. The document explains that no land purchases can be made without governor consent. The work then goes on to break down how individuals are to create towns, produce their own sets of laws, and to elect town officials. An example of that would be a minister. This primary resource is essentially a guide on how to purchase land and set up a town in colonial New York. It really helps us understand an important perspective during this period in history too. As we can see, colonists are still willing to pay Native Americans directly for their land. This is definitely a unique piece that gives us a unique insight into the topic being focused on by this specific discussion. Resources such as the ones I've highlighted here help enhance our understanding of American history, especially early American history, by better allowing individuals to see the American story from different perspectives. When possible, it's always incredibly important to examine all different perspectives when it comes to the study of history. It's even more important to explore the areas of history that some might consider dark. As historians, it's our duty to be able to break through bias in order to create better and more accurate historical narratives as well. Breaking down Native American and colonist interactions during the 17th century truly is a topic that can be better understood by examining more and more primary resources like the ones I've examined here. Thank you again for watching, and I look forward to checking out everyone else's discussions. Bye.